Here's my updated Direct Strike hero tier list so that you always know what's broken and what's dogshit. Let's start with the Alchemist. That's like a clear broken. Why? Because he's really strong in the early game with the acid, has really strong healing spray. The ultimate is not my favorite because it doesn't give you any tempo, but still overall very strong hero. Never a bad pick. Then next we have the Archmage. For me, Archmage is like easy peasy bad hero. Why? In the early game, he's doing not much. The Blizzard is shining in the mid to late game, but you will not get there without any sacrifice, because in the early game, you can just outposition the Blizzard really hard, and then he also can't right click, because he's channeling all day long. So I don't think Archmage is a good hero overall. Beastmaster, a bit bugged in the current patch, still a decent hero for sure, has strong summons, strong ultimate. If you need a summon hero or just want some tempo for the early game, then he's definitely a solid pick. Same honestly for the Blademaster. Like Blademaster is also one of the solid heroes which are not so strong but still a viable pick. Like the mirror images distracting the opponent, also the ultimate can be actually pretty strong against summons, for example, so also definitely like a solid one. So the Blood Mage, I would also rate the Blood Mage decent, honestly. It's a bit more of a situational pick, I have to say. The Blood Mage is like really good if you have a strong frontline like Grunts and playing against a squishy frontline like Ghouls, then the Flame Strike actually does a lot. The ultimate is decent, and so I would say it's a really situational good pick. Yeah, so I'm talking here mainly also in this list about my first heroes. Because Potem is like usually a really bad first hero, but a really strong second hero. But I will rate Potem here like as decent because of this, because you can't pick Potem first. Dark Ranger, in my opinion, definitely a very good hero. I think Dark Ranger is having games where she's actually having really strong times and destroying everything, but also really bad games where she's doing nothing. So it's also a very situational hero. If your opponent has a beefy frontline and also good dispel, then this hero is garbage. But if your opponent has a squishy frontline and also probably no dispel, then this hero is really crazy OP. So if you pick it in the right spot, this guy is really good. Demon Hunter. At the moment, I guess my favorite hero. I think the immolation is giga broken, evasion is really strong. The ultimate is not the greatest, but you can create so much tempo till you get to level 6 that it doesn't matter, the ultimate is not the greatest. So I think Demon Hunter is for sure the best hero in the game at the moment. Yeah, I mean DK. DK is a really bad hero as first hero. As second or third hero, the aura can be decent, but overall should be rated as dogshit. Firelord. Yeah, I think Firelord is like on the same level as Archmage. He's like really way weaker than the rest of the heroes we have in the list at the moment. The ultimate is really strong, but the rest is garbage, so I don't think you should pick him at all. Farseer, I think also easy, very good tier. The Farseer is also really strong early on with the summons, has good burst damage with Lightning Strike, can also stun with the Bolt. The Farseer is also a bit situational, so if you're playing from ahead, then the Farseer is giga broken. Because then you can just end the game really early with the Earthquake. But if you're getting pushed, then the Farseer is like really weak, because his ultimate is basically not existing. So if you know how to play him well, and if you have tempo, then you should definitely go for him. And also just in the early game it's really good, but he can backfire if you are getting behind. Keeper. Yeah, Keeper is kind of also here, which is kind of situation, I would say. I would probably rate him, honestly, like a really high decent hero. I think he's also very situational, just if the opponent has no dispel, it's really strong. If you're playing from ahead, he's really strong, but he's having not the greatest scaling. He's also falling off in the late game. So I think Keeper can be good, but also can be bad. So I would rate him high decent here. Lich. Lich is like also guaranteed easy broken tier. The Nova didn't get nerfed in the last patch, so she has insane Nova damage. Completely unreal, also very strong ultimate. I think it's also better than the Alchemist. The Lich overall, also like, Lich is like always a solid pick. There's like no game where he's really bad. So MK guys, the MK should also be a very good hero, like for sure. Like he's also especially good against squishy melee units, because the clap is like really doing a lot of damage towards them. Dealing damage and also slowing down DPS of the opponents. And also the level 6 is making him basically like immortal. The Naga. I mean, the Naga is, I guess, also more of a higher decent pick, I think. Like, you want to play Naga if you play, for example, like tier 1 with Mask 1s and Dryads, then the Naga shines really hard, because you can itemize the Naga with a lot of ropes really easily. She's giving you a lot of tempo, but the ultimate's also kind of wasted. Shadowhunter. Yeah, I mean, guys, I have to rate Shadowhunter also broken tier. Like, Shadowhunter's not the best, actually, in the early game, because the healing wave is not doing so much and the serpent wards are kind of weak on level 1. But level 3, 5, 6 and 7 is like really kind of broken. The healing allows it to stack so nicely, and the big bad voodoo, if played well, is just completely unreal strong and can solo carry even games where you shouldn't have any chance to win. So Shadowhunter has to be broken tier, but it's definitely also way better second or third hero than first hero. The Paladin has to be definitely also be on the very good tier. The Divine Shield allows you basically to make him stack in the mid to late game always, guaranteed. Is a really good carrier also for Immolation Aura, which is one of the strongest things in the game. The aura on himself with the armor is also good, decent ultimate. So for sure also very strong against just basically everything besides Banshees. The Panda. The Panda is also definitely very strong. I don't know if I should rate him broken or very good. I think I should probably rate him more of a very high, very good hero. Why? Because he's definitely slower than Alchemist, Lich or Demon Hunter and has not as good scaling as the Shadow Hunter. So I think the Panda is good if you can get him a quick level 2, because then you have the Fire of Breath and also the Evasion. Then he really shines. And the ultimate is really strong overall. Yeah, so I think he's a very high, very good hero. Also, basically, always a really good pick. And yeah, really good scaling also on his own. Yeah, like our Lord here is like really bad. I think he's like even worse than DK, because DK has at least the aura. So never pick this guy, it's just an auto lose for you. TC. Yeah, TC has to be also decent hero. Like I really can't recommend picking him first hero. He's a good second, like a really good second or third hero. So I'm rating him for this reason decent. The Tinker. Yeah, Tinker has to be also on a bad tier. Like he's just too weak compared to all the other heroes. He's not as bad as a dogshit tier, but you also don't really want to have him in your army. What you want to have in your army is like the Dreadlord. Like Dreadlord has to be also OP tier. I think he's actually also higher rated than the Shadowhunter. And I also would rate him higher than the Alchemist, because the ultimate is just way more tempo and I like to have tempo. But maybe also not as good as the early game Alchemist. So I kind of would rate him probably in between here. Like the aura is really strong. Cryptstorm is giga broken. Infernal is giga broken. Cryptlord, I guess, is not broken, but also a really good hero. Like I personally would probably also rate the Cryptlord higher than these two guys, because he's just more reliable. The Beetles are like really good early on. He's also more reliable than the Farseer, and also more reliable than the Dark Ranger, honestly. But you cannot stack. It's kind of hard. I think here's like a good place for him. And then we have the Warden, guys. And the Warden is kind of a bit weird to me, guys. Why? Because the Warden is either completely broken or completely dog shit. You want to play the Warden especially in games where you have actually access to healing, and also where your teammates probably also playing good healing abilities. Because then he can jump back, getting healed, and then he survives longer. If you're playing from behind early on, then Warden is really bad. But if you're playing from ahead, Warden is like really good. I think I would rate Warden probably low, very good. But if you have a good Warden game, he's completely broken for sure. Subscribe if you want to climb faster in Direct Strike. Thanks guys.